Was dropshipping across the sea when the tariffs came. Said this ain't for me. Had to pivot fast, find a better way. That's when ShineOn came to save the day. Now he's shining bright, climbing up the chart. Video ads were sold straight from the heart. Clean websites converting, orders rolling in. They found his path, now watch him win. Keep shining, keep grinding. Success is the way. ShineOn merchants crushing every single day. Mother's Day arrived, he was ready to go. Traffic flowing smooth, profits start to grow. Research game was tight, scaling methods clean. Built the merchant dream, living the ShineOn scene. Now he's shining bright, climbing up the chart. Video ads were sold straight from the heart. Clean websites converting, orders rolling in. They found his path, now watch him win. Keep shining, keep grinding. Success is the way. ShineOn merchants crushing every single day. Mother's Day arrived, he was ready to go. Traffic flowing smooth, profits start to grow. Research game was tight, scaling methods clean. Built the merchant dream, living the ShineOn scene. Now he's shining bright, climbing up the chart. Video ads were sold straight from the heart. Clean websites converting, orders rolling in. They found his path, now watch him win. Keep shining, keep grinding. Success is the way. ShineOn merchants crushing every single day. Success is the way. ShineOn merchants crushing every single day. From dropship stress to ShineOn success. Found his calling, now he's blessed. Every merchant watching, learning from his flow. Makes the proof that anyone can grow. Final, right climbing up the chart. Building something real straight from the heart. Community together, helping each other win. ShineOn family, let the success begin. Keep shining, keep grinding. Success is the way. ShineOn merchants crushing every single day. Hey, Sliwinski, Merchant of the Year. ShineOn family gives a mighty cheer.
The sun is high, the streets are bare. It feels like no one's shopping there. But don't you stop, don't lose your grind. The summer gold's not hard to find. Keep the hustle, keep the fire. Dreams don't fade, they just expire. Find the niche that sparks the flame. Summer's slow, but not the game. The orders trickle, but don't you fret. Your big idea ain't happened yet. The heat is on, your time will come. Success will shine just like the sun. Keep the hustle, keep the fire. Dreams don't fade, they just expire. Find the niche that sparks the flame. Summer's slow, but not the game. Design the wild, design the bold. Stand out like treasure made of gold. Your shop's a spark, your vision clear. The world will buy, just persevere. Keep the hustle, keep the fire. Dreams don't fade, they just expire. Find the niche that sparks the flame. Summer's slow, but not the game. Yeah. wild, design the bold, stand out like treasure made of gold. Your shop's a spark, your vision clear. The world will buy, just persevere. Keep the hustle, keep the fire. Dreams don't fade, they just inspire. Find the niche that sparks the flame. Summer slow, but not the game.
All day long, my back was aching, bills were breaking, everything was going wrong. Then my cousin girl said, buddy, there's a better way to be. Start selling jewelry online, it's called PODUC. Now I'm shine on and print on demand and making necklaces while I'm just sitting here commanding. No inventory, no worry, just profits in my hand. Thanks to Shine On, I'm a print on demand man. I designed a heart that says I love my hunting dog. Sold 300 in a week, now I'm living high on the hog. My mama wants a bracelet that says world's best biscuit maker. ShineOn's got me covered, I'm a country entrepreneur taker. Now I'm shine on and print on demand and making necklaces while I'm just sitting here commanding. No inventory, no worry, just profits in my hand. Thanks to Shine On, I'm a print on demand. My wife thought I was crazy when I quit my day job. Now she's driving a new truck, says I'm her heartthrob. The neighbors all are jealous of my Shine On success. I tell them y'all can do it too, just don't make a mess. Keep on shine on and print on demand and turn your kitchen table into profit commanding. From truck stops to gift shops across this great land, we're all Shine On merchants in this print on demand band. Yeah! Keep shining, happy selling, y'all.
What's up? How are you guys doing, huh? Do you like that? Do you like the fresh jams? Iconic says they like the country song. I thought you'd like the. I had fun with those. I have fun every time I do one of these. It's like I look for when I have a coffee with Shine On. I just kind of look forward to getting to go make up some fun songs for everybody. What is up? What's up, Robbie? How you doing? Tal, welcome. Annette, what is going on? Where are you guys watching from today? Let me know in the comments. I've got a really cool one for you all today. While you guys gear up the comments here, how do I do this? A little out of practice. Where you at? There we go. I've got a really cool interview for you today with Nate. Nate just kind of like busted into the scene from out of nowhere. I mean, probably shouldn't say from out of nowhere. Nate has sold Shine On before, but around Mother's Day, Nate he locked into a winner and just this thing went to the moon. And he popped into our top 10 list and quickly climbed to the top of it. And I thought it'd be really cool to do an interview with Nate. The other thing that's kind of fun about Nate is that Nate, kind of comes from the drop shipping world a little bit, and tariffs and the de minimis rule kind of had him pivoting. And I'm super glad he did because he found Shine On and he took this product to the moon. So I'm really excited to get into all of that with Nate. All right, I've got some comments coming in now. We've got Tal is from Rockville, Maryland. That's awesome. What's up? Chattanooga. I was just in Chattanooga a couple weeks back. I stayed at a KOA there in the hills. It was kind of cool. We have A2Z from the UK. What's up? I love the UK. That's awesome. Where at in the UK? Where at? I'm curious. Watching from Seoul. That's crazy. That is super cool. So in Seoul, I'm guessing you're what, 10, 11 hours ahead of us right now. So it's late into the evening for you, I would imagine. We got Susan from North Carolina. That's awesome. Tal says they were working on a meta ad for an acrylic centerpiece. Great vibes for that, referring to the music. That's cool. Fun. Toronto, Canada. Let's do it. Michigan. Saginaw, Michigan. Cooler weather than Orlando, Florida. That's awesome. DFW area of Texas. Cool. I've got some family in Wichita Falls. So I'm familiar. From Iowa. I was just in Iowa too last week. I've been getting around this year, apparently. All right. Robbie says it's 12 a.m. there. So 14 hours ahead. That's nutso. That's nutso, fam. Are you guys excited for this one? Let's get into it. I got some announcements. We'll knock these out quick and we'll get Nate up here. First, our swag winners. Do we not have any swag winners? I don't know who the swag winner is. All right. Well, I think we made an error in the slides. This is what I get for not reading them beforehand. This week's Pod You Walk Through leaders. We've got Giftology, Taryn, and Nelly. So maybe you're the swag winners. We'll give you some swag anyway. So you'll get like a gift credit to our swag store, ShineOnmerch.com, if anybody wants some cool Shine On swag. We've got all kinds of neat stuff there. And then also we've had a bunch of people complete the first sale challenge, which is awesome. So way to go, all you people trying to improve your print on demand skills. I'm going to read a couple of these. We got Hamza, Sadia, Marine, Tony, Anise, Mark, Arts, Chris, Kayer, Laurel, Robert, Jeffrey, and then I can't read the rest. But way to go. That's awesome. That is super awesome. A lot of people like the first skill or the first sale rather is like a big unlock. For many people in the space, the first print on demand sale becomes like the first dollar they've ever made online. And I'm telling you, the first time you do that, it's a complete game changer. Like it just opens up the world. I know it did for me. I remember exactly where I was at. It was 2014. I was taking my dog out to poop, and my dog was pooping, not me. And she had done her business, and I was reaching over to pick it up with a bag, and I got a little notification on my phone that a sale had come in, and I like jumped in the air and fist pumped with the doggy bag over my hand. I was just so excited, and it just completely changed my world. So This is awesome. Leveling up, taking advantage of the challenge. Let's get your first sale now. That'd be awesome. All right, if you want some swag, share your first sale milestone in the Facebook group. Share tips and tricks, revenue milestones, screenshots, all of that stuff. We grab random people from the group every single week, and if we feature you here, you'll get some free Shine On swag. So that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. All right. Latest news, PodU continues to level up. You got to go check out PodU if you're not in there. You can access it by the POD University link right inside of the Shine On dashboard. We have worked our tails off to make this like the best value in print on demand. We have a bunch of really neat AI tools in there. We just released some additional AI tools, and I also know Rodrigo is working on revamping some of the tools as they sit right now. The Chat GPT just released, or OpenAI rather, just released their new image model. And it's really, really good with text on graphics. And Rodrigo has been in there fine tuning it so that you can like create message cards and things like that on the fly using the system. So you got to go check it out. The other thing that's inside of the AI tools that you may not have seen is you can actually go in there, write up a phrase, and it will automatically put it onto a message card for you that you can download, and you can get it to riff on messages. So you can create 6, 8, 10 like pre-built message cards for you based on our background templates on the fly, and you just right-click save out of there. It's a really great way to like rapidly iterate on phrases for all of your testing. You got to go check it out. It's insane. It's insane. He also maybe not supposed to announce this. Sorry if I'm breaking a rule here, peeps. He's also working on a Etsy research tool that's going to be built right into our AI tool. So I'm telling you, it's incredible. Every week it's leveling up, and it's really, really neat. Also, don't forget that if you're on one of our paid plans, you get 2 free trending products every single week, where we go in, we do the product research, we find products that are trending, and then we remake them, and we give you not only the design file so that you can just, if you want to rip, you can just upload them to your account and get going. We also give you the Canva templates for them so you can go edit them. I mean, it's really cool. It's really cool. You guys got to go check this out. This is one of those things where we've worked super hard on it. We built something that I think is genuinely impressive that nobody else has in the space, and we don't talk about it enough. So you guys got to go check it out. It's freaking cool. Freaking cool. We also have monthly design packs. So every single month we're dropping like 15 to 20 new products. You get the Canva templates and everything. You just upload them to your store, build out your store. All of these products are based on things that we see trending in our spy tools and stuff. It's not like ideas we're just pulling out of the air. I mean, these ideas are inspired by what's working in the marketplace. You got to go check these out. They're super, super cool. Okay. We also, speaking of some of these Etsy things, we also launched the Etsy Lab with Sejal. So Sejal can do an audit on your store, your products. She can give you personalized feedback on your branding. She can help you with SEO, all kinds of stuff. And you can go buy an audit from Sejal right inside of Pod University. Now, the reason I kind of want to highlight this, or something I want to point out about this, is ShineOn's real big on our community and working with you all to, help, create a high tide where all boats rise. So anytime we have a merchant that is seeing like outsized success or has developed a skill set in a particular area, we always want to partner with them and see how we can take their skills to the rest of the community and just benefit everybody, right? I truly don't believe that we're really competing with each other. I think our real competition is keeping a buyer from going to a Walmart or a Target for a gift instead of buying something online. I think that's really where the competition lies. So I really do believe a high tide raises all ships. And in that spirit, if you have a skill, if you have something unique that you've figured out, or you think you have some coaching you can help provide to the community, please reach out. We'd love to work with you and maybe develop something similar that we've done with Sejal. And if you don't know Sejal, she is freaking awesome. So if you're into Etsy and this is your thing, I highly recommend go check this out. Get an audit from Sage and let us know how it goes. I promise you won't be disappointed. All right. If you want the link to that, it looks like Brooke just dropped the link inside of the chat. So go check that out. Look here, Annette says, OMG, I totally forgot about that, referring to the Pod U stuff. I'm telling you, Pod U is jam-packed with cool stuff. We're going live in there just about every single day during the week. If you're new, you get to soak up so much knowledge. It's just, when I started in print on demand, I just would have killed for something like this. I mean, it just didn't exist. You just had to figure this crap out on your own. And I look at this stuff and it just blows my mind, the quality of the education that's out there for free these days. So anyway, if you're not taking advantage of it, please go check all that out. Okay. If you ever, go on vacation, get sick, God forbid, or something, maybe you got burnt out and went and did something else for a while and now you're back. If you ever want to get caught up on what's going on in the community, right inside the Facebook group, you can go to the featured section up here at the top. They sometimes change the name of this. There will be something related to that. Click that. Anything we've deemed announcement worthy will be in there. But also you can come over here to Pod U and we have this announcements and changelog link under the community menu. You can hit that and it should give you roughly the same kind of news feed. Anything we've seen newsworthy will be in there. Are you guys ready to rock and roll? If you're ready for me to get Nate out here to start digging into how he did 7 figures in just a few weeks in the run up to Mother's Day, give me a thumbs up in the chat below. Thumbs up in the chat if you're ready for me to bring Nate on. Thumbs up in the chat. Thumbs up in the chat. And while I wait for that, I pulled some of Nate's data from this morning. So between March 1st and May 11th. So May 11th was Mother's Day. The shipping cutoff was a few days before that. But from March 1st to May 11th, Nate did $1.1 million in revenue. So it's not margin. I don't want anybody to be freaked out. It's not margin. Nate's an exceptional case. He's worked super hard. He's developed a lot of skills. He's an e-commerce expert. Success isn't guaranteed. All of that stuff. He did $1.1 million in revenue in the run up to Mother's Day, which is just absolutely incredible. And we're going to dive into this and learn from Nate on how he did it. All right, I got some thumbs coming in. Nate, give me a thumbs up if you're ready here. Okay, here comes Nate. Nate, what's up?
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you having me on.
Dude, are you kidding? I'm glad that I'm thankful that you took the time out of your day to join us here.
It's no problem. I love ShineOn. I love what you guys are doing, so I'm happy to be here.
What do you think of the song that I made specifically for you?
I was totally shocked when it started playing. And I know you've done them before, but I was not expecting that.
Did it say your last name right?
I think so, yeah.
If anybody missed that, you got to go back. It was the first song I played today. It was dedicated to Nate.
Well, I told you I need that for my theme song now. So
heck yeah, I'll send it to you. I got the MP3. It's free.
All right.
It's free. I did that on I don't even have a paid account to Suno. Look at the quality they give you. It's incredible. Anyway, how's it going, man?
It's going pretty well. Yeah, just the summer kind of slowdown starting to happen. But what I keep telling myself is now's the time to be testing for Q4 because it's going to be right around the corner. And right now is where you make your big ads, your big winners, and that's kind of just where I'm at right now. So
yeah, you bank them up for Q4. We're gonna get into all this. First, we got to do a little something called the Digital Marketer's Toast, right? For anybody that's new here and has never done a Digital Marketer's Toast, your mind is about to get blown. Okay, the difference between not living and living is on the other side of the toast. Every time we do one of these, good things happen. Merchants get sales on their phone. They'll sometimes report it in their chat. People feel tinglies from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet. People think I'm joking when I say that, but I'm not. I actually am drinking the Kool-Aid here. I believe there is power in the toast, people. I believe. So if you're ready, raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks, And join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, to higher CTRs, much higher CVRs, to enable ad accounts and big bank accounts, upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, to winning products and repeat sells, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Are you ready, everybody? Cheers. Drink up. There we go. Let's pause for a moment. Someone out there is feeling it right now. Maybe your phone just went off with a Shopify notification you got to sell. Maybe someone's hitting your landing page and personalizing a product. Or maybe you just had some tinglies that was kind of validating and confirming that, like, this thing is for you. I mean, if you think about it, ShineOn is still kind of a diamond in the rough. We're not actually super well known, right? But for some reason, you know about it, and you're here right now watching this. And I believe that's for a reason. I believe that is for a reason, right? There's something the universe wants you to know. And that's why you're on this call right now. It's why you know about ShineOn. It's the best time in the history of the world to be an entrepreneur. I believe that with all of my heart and soul. Okay, let's dig into this. So let me stop sharing my screen, get us both up here. Nate, I want to ask you a little bit about your origin story. Like, how did you get into e-commerce, selling things online? How do you get into print on demand? When did you find out about ShineOn? Can you share a little bit?
Sure. So it was around 2000, I think 16. I just got back, my wife and I, from Poland. I was playing pro hockey out there.
Wow, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, we weren't really making much money, but it was livable there for sure. But back here in the USA, it's
That's
nothing.
crazy.
Yeah. So, and we were gonna have our official wedding, and she was making wedding templates, like to create the wedding invitations for our wedding and stuff. And then some random lady asked if she could buy it from her, and she said, "Sure, why not?" She was just making it for our wedding, and then a couple days later, she just said, "You know, I'm going to start an Etsy shop," because we literally just got back. We didn't have any money, and she just put it on Etsy. And I think the next day she got a sale of a wedding.
Wow.
Template. Yeah. But this was, 2016. So it wasn't what it is today. And then we just kind of said, we don't want to go to normal jobs, 9 to 5. We weren't about that. And we just went full force into, Etsy and that kind of business right there. And then eventually I just kind of pivoted away as, YouTube was starting to become a thing and dropshipping was starting to be known in 2017. You still had to buy courses for, $1,000, $500, but at the time we didn't have like any money. I'm talking, $10 to our name. It was like, that's where we were trying to make things work.
And so hang on, with $10 in your name, she makes a couple sales online and you're like, we don't want jobs. We want to do this.
Yeah, we were pretty stupid, to be honest.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
no glory, I guess.
Yeah, well, we live in Colorado.
By the way, I would not recommend anybody listening to this, if you're new, don't get any crazy ideas. Okay, if you have a job, keep your job, let the money come in, and build your side hustle as you go here.
Yeah,
continue.
We were pretty naive, but so we moved from Colorado to Oklahoma just because it was the cost of living was way less expensive, and we said we're gonna figure this out. And then I just started learning from YouTube drop shipping, and there's some good videos and stuff, and it was just kind of from there is just grinding every day to make sales, and then just kind of building up the skills. And then I got my first I scaled my first product probably a year and a half later after, almost quitting probably 100 times, and then just kind of been doing that since. And that's kind of where we're at now.
So when did you get into like print on demand and ShineOn?
So actually, will come back to the tariffs in China. So I was pretty good at scaling just kind of the crappy products from China through Facebook from that kind of time period of 2018 to 21. And I just kind of knew this shift. I couldn't do this anymore because, dropshippers love to make 10 pages, 10 Shopify's, 10 businesses, scale up to the moon. And then you're just kind of dealing with all the problems that come with that, right? Like And I just kind of figured it wasn't sustainable because and then the Facebook feedback score came, and that
It's
basically
just a matter of time. Yeah.
yeah, it was exactly, it was a matter of time, and that basically was my transition of, I can't be doing this anymore. And then around 2022, I would say my Facebook ad account got banned, and I just didn't know what
your profile was restricted.
Yes, my profile was
Yeah,
restricted.
that sucks, dude. How do
So
you get
I
around
went from, having all these pages and scaling these seasonal products to basically back to zero. Yeah, and I
Did
knew
you ever
that
get
was
it back?
no. I never.
Do you even know why you lost it?
They still can't give me a reason. I've
Yeah.
talked to probably 10 reps and hours, and they just kind of run you around. So it's okay.
So what do you do now? Whose account are you using?
My wife's. I'm lucky.
Do you have any backups?
No, not really.
I kind of went down. We can get to this later, but I figured this out after lots and lots of trial and error, like how to make it work if you lose your profile. But we can get to that later. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. So basically, after my Facebook profile got banned, I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to ship from China anymore because there was just so many problems. Even when you're scaling and you have your own, I had a private sourcing agent, and he was great, but just the customer feedback. Just look at your emails, right? They don't want product showing from China. And actually, I came across ShineOn it was when Shopify used to have, I forgot what it was called, where they would sell stores. You could sell your store through like Shopify.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The little marketplace where people could sell. Yeah.
They used to have that. And I was always just looking on there, and I noticed someone was selling jewelry, and I've sold jewelry in the past, and I couldn't figure out, I like the mock-ups were great. And I knew this was print on demand, and I couldn't figure out who's, where were they getting these products from? Were they getting from China or whatever? And then I just kind of went down the rabbit hole, and eventually I found ShineOn. And I was like, and then, I saw you guys ship from Florida, and that just right there, it got me hooked, right? Just something high perceived value, small packaging, because I've done, things larger packages, and it's just can be a headache. And I basically didn't know what to do from the time I got my Facebook ad account banned. So, I just said, I'm going to start with ShineOn, and I'm just going to do Etsy because I know I can sell on Etsy like I've done it before. And I just started there, and I just went crazy on uploading products, and I have like my own.
When was this? Like what year?
This was like probably the end of 2022 is when I did this.
Okay. Wow. So I didn't know you found us that early.
Yeah, but being a drop shipper, you kind of are distracted like with multiple stores and stuff. So I was just kind of, it's the typical drop shipper, right? Where you don't really build businesses, you just scale.
Oh yeah. You build.
Yeah. So I just kind of stuck with that until I kind of figured out what I wanted to do. And actually the highest revenue month I had for Etsy was just under 70K with like a 40% margin. Just because
with ShineOn products?
With ShineOn products, only ShineOn products.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was awesome because, just the way I kind of had my strategy, and
and I assume you're selling through with like said commerce or something like that.
No,
were you using the integration?
It was just the integration, yeah.
Oh shit! So you got smacked when.
Well, then yeah. So as I hit like that 70K month, that's when they were going through all the cleanups, right? And then basically whacked it, and they canceled the store, which was okay, but it was just the proof of concept, right? That I knew from the feedback, like the customers loved the products.
How many, if you don't mind me asking, how many products did you have on the store when you lost it?
Listing wise, I probably had like 300.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
but for like I was able to get it even, to 70K a month or whatever, just based on, I would just run ads as much as I could on Etsy ads, and I was just filtering what was winning, what wasn't. And then it was a machine. At one point it was a machine.
It just sucks. And we still don't know why we lost it.
It was kind of
never coming back, I don't think.
Yeah.
We actually have, I probably shouldn't say that actually. We have 2 plans. One that is like 90% done, which is going to allow people to publish direct to Etsy through like natively through the platform. We're doing it in with a partner. And then we have a second plan that I'm not going to say in public because it's tricksy, but we're ready to go there if we need to. So anyway, you go ahead and continue.
Yeah. So after that basically got shut down, then, you know, I just started the Shopify, and the rest has kind of just been history from there. And I haven't
Are
even
you doing any Etsy selling now at all?
No.
Did you lose your store or just the integration that tanked?
Just the whole store. They shut it down.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, and that's okay.
It kills me because it was like a month ago. They sent out an email with like a bunch of featured products, and they were message card products. You know, it's like like the product that they said was in violation of their policy. They're actively promote it. Just
it makes no sense.
Anyway.
Yeah, so then I just said, you know what? Like, I tested the products. The customers love it. You know, the shipping's great. It's from the USA. I mean, I'll just move it to Shopify and do what I kind of do there. And I've been distracted here and there since kind of then, but starting last year, like kind of Q4, I said, you know what? I'm just going to stick with ShineOn. No more dropshipping stores, no more whatever, and put my full focus on growing this business. And I think that's why I had such a good Mother's Day, because I cut down the focus to just one store.
That's awesome.
Shopify, yeah, and then just kind of from there.
If you don't mind, I'm going to share. I'd like to share a screen of your results. So let me get this up. So I want to dive into this a little bit. So, all right. So this is a screen. We have the ability to like impersonate accounts, by the way. So like our support team does it all the time to like help people troubleshoot issues. That's how I got this screenshot. I don't have your username and password, just FYI. This is a admin superpower that we have. So what I've got here is a screenshot from March 1st to May 11th. So this is basically your Mother's Day run. Really, you could probably say it started like at the beginning of April, your Mother's Day run. And you can see somewhere you locked in. I don't know if you locked in a winner here or if the momentum for Mother's Day just grabbed hold of a product here. Like what? Tell me about this. Tell me about this growth curve here and kind of what your experience was, what you were going through.
I would say it's a little of both.
And actually, I'm serious. I'm sorry, Nate, to interrupt. I do need to say real quick, this is revenue. This is not margin. We'll talk about margin. Nate, again, is the e-com expert. He's been into this for almost 10 years. Your success is not guaranteed. Your mileage is going to vary. There are going to be ups and downs. Like everybody needs to know that this doesn't just fall out of the sky and happen. There's no get rich quick schemes here. It takes hard work, effort, time, skill, probably a little bit of luck to figure this out. So please keep that in mind as we talk about these numbers and the success Nate enjoyed. So anyway, I'm sorry, Nate. So back to the question, like what was happening here? What was your experience? What were you feeling? What were you going through with your products? How did you make this happen?
Yeah, sure. And just to touch back on your point, that profit isn't the profit because you have to take into account of the Facebook ads, the TikTok ads, and I have like a few like employees and stuff as well. So
absolutely
just for people, but. Going back to the scaling, I would say it's a little of both of, the holiday timing, and then, you're finding your winning ads. And it kind of starts, like I said, before Mother's Day, you got to be testing two months in advance for sure. And if you can get traction on some of those ads that kind of far back, you'll have a winner at that time. It's just, we're in the family gift space. I mean, people will buy those gifts from your ads. And that's kind of what I've been just doing for, since I've joined ShineOn, is I'm trying to find those winning ads before the real hype is. You don't want to be late. Like you want to kind of test, like I said, 2 months in before. So it was kind of a combination of that, like finding your winners at the right time and letting the holiday timing come. And then you'll just notice it every time. That's how I scale. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm going to recap that really for anybody new that's listening. So what Nate's saying he did is you do lots of your testing way out here. like before the holiday, ideally, right? And the idea is to try to find signal in the noise. So you test a bunch of stuff and you try to find something that's working better than the other stuff, right? And then your hope is that if you keep your ad spend behind that thing and you keep optimizing on that thing, then when the holiday gets here, you can ride the holiday. You can almost think of it like surfing, right? Where it's like you got a wave, it's coming in, you know the wave is coming in, that's the holiday, and your goal is to find a surfboard you can stand on when the wave gets here. Is kind of the idea, right? So how many let's I actually had a question for you about your testing strategy. So are you the type that, you know, you just tested a bunch of stuff, 20, 30, 40, 50 products to find your winner, where you were kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall just to see what sticks? Or did you have a different approach? Like, what's your philosophy on product selection that's getting you these kinds of results?
It's a little of both. I sometimes I do go through like a spam. I would call it like a spam product test, and then also you have to do your product research, which are, you know, there's so many great tools, right? And even like just looking on like TikTok Shop, just go type in jewelry or type in your niche, and they'll pull you winning products. They'll show, you know, orders with 50,000 orders. I mean, and you can know, okay, well, clearly people are buying it. So I do a little of both. But my real testing strategy, I guess, is taking a little both concepts, and then just kind of seeing, like, I do more like a low budget kind of Facebook strategy. Like sometimes I even just do $5 per video just to kind of see, again, if I can get a traction or a sale, you know, like then I'm onto something. Then we can tweak it. We can tweak the hook. We can tweak the first 3 seconds or something like that, just to kind of get started.
Are you big on video, or do you use static images?
A video.
Even for testing, you use video a lot?
I would say 95% video. I just feel like you get better results. You can scale more aggressively. And I just feel like, you know, that image ads, yes, they can work, but right now video is where the content people want is always short form. You know, look on YouTube, look on TikTok. It's video, right? Those platforms want video.
So walk us through your process there a little bit. Like, how do you do that at scale, right? Do you just have like your hook and I can't remember your video ads, and I don't want to give anything away, but do you just have like your hook and then like you cut to the product with kind of a voiceover of the phrase? Or like, how do you do that at scale? That's the tricky part for me, because if you're testing even a handful of designs a week with video, that can be quite a lot for some people. So how do you manage that?
Well, I was thinking about this, just kind of, you know, a route I kind of do as well right now, just a cheaper route. So you're not just throwing Facebook ads up and hoping and praying. I think people need to utilize the TikTok app way more for their content. The way I found, you know, the way TikTok works over Instagram, where if you put a video out, they want you to go viral, right? That's their goal, is to find the viral videos. So you make a video, right? And most of my videos are pretty simple. Like, it is really just, you got to find your hook and then the message card, and right, the message card should strike an emotion. But if you're a newbie, for sure, get on TikTok, make a video, like, and my videos are, I would say, they're not great quality. They're just, you know, almost like a real person, even like reviewing a product, right? But that app is designed to make videos go viral. So if you post a video and it gets 200 views, there's your feedback already, and you didn't spend a dime, right? And that's kind of what I'm more transitioning to now, is where I'm just creating content. And then
so you're like putting it up organically on TikTok.
Yeah, organically. And then I take the results of what the app is showing me. So if my video gets 200 views, then okay, well, something's wrong. This clearly was a bad video. And then as you kind of, you know, improve your skills and stuff, like, okay, now this video got 1,000 views. Okay, now we're on the right trend. And then I've had some, you know, go 100K views or even over 1 million views, right? You're just trying to figure that out. And
so did you do that to find this product here, or was this all like paid ad spend?
Most of it was paid ad spend, but I found the product through like TikTok Shop. If that
Like the
makes sense.
phrase.
The phrase, sort of. I kind of adjusted it a little. I just, when you have like kind of my skill set, I can tweak things a little differently than maybe most people, I guess, and just kind of test that. But again, you don't really know your winners until you know your winners, I guess, is kind of the point.
Yeah, the winners always identify themselves.
Yeah, and if you listen to most ecom people too, the ads that they think will be winners aren't, and the ads that they suck will be the winners.
It always happens.
Yeah,
I know that feeling for sure. So what was your profit margin after ad spend?
it was about 20%.
So 20%. So 200K ish.
Yes.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So, and you came from kind of this drop shipping background where I don't know what you were selling, but oftentimes the margins are like really thin. Like, what was kind of the exact moment where you start selling ShineOn products, you experience this bigger, healthier margin, you realize that this is a completely different game?
Yeah, so it was actually when I got banned from Etsy is when I went to Shopify, right? And then I took my winning product from Etsy and just blew it up right away. I think I had like a 60K day, like probably a couple weeks after I started the Shopify. And then I just said, okay, clearly it works even on Shopify, and then I just kind of said, clearly this is something that works. That it's the great margins and great facility from, Florida. Like you can't ask for anything better. So
That's awesome.
There.
And another thing is like, I know you told me, by the way, Nate had a child in April, right? So Nate has a kid in April, and then you hit this big winning product, right? And you go from these like 2K days, right, over here to like 8K days here, and then you really, really scale up. Did you get any sleep at all?
Yeah, it was crazy. I just, I think when you were in this game for so long, you're just used to madness, right? You're always, there's something always happening like this where you lose your sleep, you lose your patience, you're just on the wall, on the edge almost, 80% of the year, like it just happens. But yeah, it was a wild one because we also we have a 2-year-old as well. And then when this was happening, it was like, I was, at the hospital with my computer, running ads, checking in. And yeah, it was a wild time for sure.
Like in the hospital, like in the delivery room?
No, not that. After, right? And a little before, but
like in recovery.
Yeah,
whatever
I put
little
the
rooms
computer away when she was, yeah.
So at least you put the computer away when the moment came.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I don't think we've had this before on Coffee with Shine. I've heard a lot of stories. Matt Baugh talked about climbing up trees to get signal while he's on vacation to run his ads, but I've never heard somebody being in like the hospital delivery room, the recovery room with the laptop running ads. That is awesome.
Yeah, it was a fun, exciting time for sure.
That's awesome. So like, looking at these numbers, so you did almost $1 million in a month, right? But what's interesting to me is like you have all this time here where you're pretty consistently like doing decent numbers, and it's like really before the scale took off. All these sales are the result of one product, right? It's the same winning product, all of the sales here.
No, actually.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, just because, like I said, kind of last year is when I said I'm going to just stick with ShineOn. And I have, if you kind of look at that, where the orders really came in, if you look at my, my analytics, it's not just one product. It's probably every day there's probably 50 variants being purchased with different message cards as well.
No kidding.
Yeah. So,
but you had like one driver though, right? Like one product that was driving the majority of the traffic.
I would say I had like a 3 products, but there definitely was one, you had your top ad and then your second lower ad and the third ad. And then when you get that much website traffic, people are looking around and they're buying.
No kidding. So you had 3 products that were all like winning to some degree as you ran
Yes.
into Mother's Day.
Yes.
Dude, that's awesome. That doesn't have, so we got to dig into that. How did you, let's go back to this real quick. How many products do you think you tested in the run up to Mother's Day?
Probably 15. It wasn't really that
And
crazy.
okay. How did you find like the phrases for the 15?
Well, to be honest, most of the stuff was I do a lot of research through Etsy
Okay.
as well. Like you can see on Etsy the top. I mean, what people are buying, right? Phrase wise, and
Mhm.
you can just tweak it.
Are you
and
using any tools for that?
ChatGPT.
But you're not using like Allura or Everbee or anything like that?
No.
So you're just using Nate. We got to dive into this. So you go to Etsy.com. What do you do? Can you just walk us through it step by step?
Yeah, sure. So I'll go to Etsy, right, and say you want to find a gift for your mom, right? At this time, you can just type in gift for your mom, and just start seeing what pulls up, right?
Hang on, we're gonna do this live. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Let's do it. I want to help people, and I think you're sitting on some sauce here that would be super helpful for a lot of people. Let me get my screen up. So I got to go to like an incognito tab because Etsy knows me. All right. So gift for mom
or gift. Yeah, so you could do gift for wife. So just one daughter. It doesn't matter. Daughter's probably easier, actually.
Let's do daughter. Gift for daughter. Okay. Oh, I'm not sorry. I thought I was sharing my screen. Sorry, guys. There we go. Gift for daughter.
So what I'll do next, I actually found someone said this on ShineOn. So if you go to the all filters tab, and then go to star seller at the bottom, right there, yeah. And then make sure you do show results. And I think in the URL, if you look,
I know this tip.
You can change it where it says star seller, change star to best.
Yeah, and it's like this, right? Let's try that. Who did give us this tip? I know this.
I was so like happy when he did.
So no one could see. Okay, so hang on. No one could see the freaking URL. So let me change how I'm sharing my screen. Sorry, I'm making newbie mistakes here. Where is this it? Okay. So hang on. What happens if all right. Okay, so let's I'm going to start over for everybody who's watching this. So okay. So you type in your keyword, you get all your results, right? Then you come over here to this all filters option. You click that, pops out this sidebar. Come down here to star seller here. You click that, click show results, right? Yeah. Then up in the URL, I didn't change my URL, did it? We're starting over. Gift for daughter. Then all filters. Then you come over here and you go to star seller and then show results. Yeah. And now up here in the URL, you see this is star seller part of the URL. You can change this to is best seller, right? This is one of those freaking hacks that you just, I swear I watched a YouTube video about this. And apparently someone else did too and shared the tip in the ShineOn group. So whoever shared that tip, thank you. Kudos to you. I'm not sure who it was, but you click enter now. What will happen is it should change the results. Yeah, and it shows you from this search term like what the best sellers are, right? That's the idea here, and you can see that the URL stayed like this. So it's is underscore best underscore seller seller. That's the whole thing, right? So zoom in on pause and zoom in on the screen if you need to. Okay, sorry. Now everybody's caught up. So Nate, we just did this. Now what do you do?
Now I just kind of look for the products that ShineOn sells, or even, like, so there's the mug example, but I mean, it says something, right? I can't
Yeah,
really
do you I'll read it. Are you looking for phrases here, or are you looking for shine on products, or what are you looking for?
basically all of it. I mean, it
Yeah,
doesn't
you're
matter.
just looking for ideas.
I'm just looking for ideas. And then, so like if you take that acrylic, right? The heart, I mean,
Well, I
you
don't
use,
I don't want to do that because it's probably
oh,
another merchant, and if they're watching, I don't want to call them out on the.
yeah. So
So
I'll basically just go on there and just start looking through, the products, right? And then Etsy has, under the product, it'll show like how many reviews for that product.
mhm.
And
So
typically,
like let's do this one here. So this is like a daughter one, and the phrase is, to my badass daughter, if fate whispers you can't withstand the storm, whisper back, I am the storm. Sometimes you forget you're awesome. So this is your reminder, love mom. And then you're saying the reviews. So you come down here, the reviews.
yeah, sometimes I don't know. It depends on what browser you are. It doesn't look like it's showing right now, but sometimes it'll say like this item has 10 reviews
Yeah,
out
it
of
looks
whatever.
like they changed it.
Your screen's not showing it, and this happens to me sometimes too.
I think they changed it. It used to
They
not.
Yeah, they did, but I know I just checked on one of my other computers and it wasn't like that. So
Maybe they're split testing it.
yeah. But that's what I would do. And then if you see like it shows a number, it'll say 10 reviews out of how many. If they
Yeah. So what Nate's talking about here is that usually right here it'll tell you how many reviews are for this product versus reviews for the store. Like this 15,000 review, this is for the store. It's not for just this product. Usually you can see just how many reviews this product has. These though, any review that's shown on this page should just be for this product. So I guess maybe one way you can still get there is just by looking at how many like pages there are for this particular product. Yeah, so like there are 11 10 pages roughly for this product,
Yeah.
and I think there are what, 5 reviews per page, or is it 10?
Well, since we even sorted by bestsellers, I mean, you kind of all of
That's
them
a great point. Yeah.
they should show up like that. So then what I'll do is I'll just go to the Etsy store from the product.
Gosh damn it. Sorry, good. There we go. Oh, okay. I clicked into the Etsy store anyway.
And then you just go to the reviews and sort by most recent.
And you're looking for like the thumbnail image.
I'm looking for that product if it's selling like currently, right? So you want to see a lot of the same product pull up, so you can see that mug's June 12th, June 12th, June 11th, or just similar items like that.
Right, but this is where you get your ideas.
Right, and then you want to see, I mean, are people buying it right now? Is it the time they're buying it, or just kind of where we are in that cycle of the holiday?
And so how much of your time do you think you spend on product research?
Until I'm scaling. So
Yes, exactly. So it's like, and I would guess the majority of your time, right? Because it's like, what do you figure? 60, 70, 80% of the year, you're not scaling.
Yeah.
Like if you were to just count the days,
Yeah, I guess the scaling like Mother's Day, yeah, that's different. Like for my store, I've been able to keep it over 100K revenue for the whole year. So that's but also putting in the work of all this
per month
per month, yeah.
Good for you. That's incredible, dude. So many people would kill for that.
Yeah, but like I said, I've been doing this for a long time and put in my work and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. You're an expert, like we talked about.
Yeah.
I'm hitting that drum because I do want newbies to understand this is a skill like anything else. You're not going to freaking, step out on the basketball court and do a slam dunk on day one. It takes time to get there. 100K a month consistently, though. So what do you think the difference is between you being able to do that versus somebody that's just still like either doesn't have sales or is just dealing with that kind of flash in the pan success?
I think about this a lot and I really think it comes down to is I just don't quit and I work hard. I really think that's what it really comes down to. And I can just do something for an extended period of time with pretty good focus. And I feel like most people cannot. And I'm not special in any way. I've known that my whole life for even a lot of things I do. I am not special, but I can go and go and go until I make it work. And it might take a year, it might take 2 years, but I think that's the one thing that separates, you know, getting to this level of my success in a way. And I know there's people doing even way more than me, way better than me, but there's just one thing, like I always tell my friends, like there's the e-commerce game, you can change your life in 1 to 2 years. It's really that crazy. And I truly believe anyone can do it, no matter what age, no matter what background, if you have children, if you don't. But I just don't, the consistency of actually doing the work and not giving up is where I think people would drop off.
Explain the work. What does a typical day look like for you?
I'll kind of give it more of when I wasn't making any money.
Okay.
And you had to, when I was in the grind, when I was in the trenches, right, where I was waking up 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning and just trying to learn as much as I could through YouTube. I couldn't afford a course. And I was just trying to do everything I could to get a sale. I mean, I was at one point direct messaging probably 100 people a day on Instagram just to get them to my Shopify store and buy something. And till basically Instagram banned me of just, you know, because they thought I was spam, right? Just messaging people. But yeah, basically I have friends all the time that want to do the e-commerce dropshipping game, whatever. But I just see the same thing happen over and over again, where you launch 5 ads or you make 5 pieces of content and then they drop off a cliff. And you know, this game you're not going to be rewarded doing something like that, right? And but I really believe everyone can do it. And I always talk about this trade-off, you know, where if you could sacrifice 1 to 2 years to really put in hard work, understand this game, give it all you have, you can save decades of your life, literally decades for 1 to 2 years. And I don't think it's hard to comprehend that because you don't have that experience. You know, most newbies don't. But I wish they would know that's the opportunity at hand, right? Where if you can sacrifice 1 to 2 years, you'll never have a boss again if you want, right? You can travel when you want. Yeah, yesterday we went on a family hike at 1 p.m. That's the kind of life you can live if you just sacrifice 1 to 2 years. And I just don't see people doing that. It's just really hard to see.
That was awesome, dude. What does your day look like? So when you're grinding it out, like how many hours a day do you think you are in front of your computer trying to make this happen?
You right now or kind of before?
You can compare and contrast. It's fun, both.
It's a little different right now just because I have 2 children. You know, it's not. I used to just wake up and get to my computer. That was it, and then I would launch ads, create content, and
so you get to your computer what, 5 in the morning?
Not right now. I'm just trying to catch a little sleep.
No, but back then.
Back then, yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning. You're
Till
learning
what time?
Throughout the whole day, really. I mean, you just
4 or 5 in the evening later.
Yeah, and then you're launching ads at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. I still do that just because my time has changed, and I launch ads before I go to bed.
And what is let's talk about today, because the game is different today. So I want to make sure we're helping people. What in the time that you spend today on your store, like what are the tasks? Like what are the things you are doing? So, I know you do product research, and then when you find phrases or designs, like you got to make them, you got to prepare the ad assets so you can tell me about all of that.
Yeah. So what I'm really trying to do right now is take myself out of my business. I've kind of, and this is kind of going back to like, if I had any piece of advice for a newbie or someone that's maybe struggling to scale, I would just focus on content, focus on making ads, building that skill. That's what will drive your revenue. That's making ads, making videos, and just work on that skill and focus on that skill.
Yeah, how much of the secret sauce is in like being able to identify a phrase that's going to move somebody emotionally and be able to build a product that looks good versus being able to create these compelling ads? Like if you had to throw darts at that, what's the ratio?
I don't know. I think it's kind of 50-50. Like, I've heard even through like Mario on the interviews, like some of there's, people that scaled that the product was, he says, ugly, right? And
Good point.
if you do a research, I mean, most of the phrases are pretty similar, and you'll
They
see,
are.
yeah, you'll start to
So
see, you'll start
this
to,
is actually something that's like come up over the last several years. So when I started doing this, and I would say from like 2017 to probably the end of 21, there was a lot more variance in the phrases that were working. There was a ton of it, and I was seeing stuff that worked back then. I've not seen work since. Right now, it's like every time I see a winning product, it's it's like it's like a blend of stuff we've seen before, and that could be because the education's gotten out and people are using like the Frankenphrase method, and like they're doing the phrase fragment thing, and they're like mixing and matching winning components of different things. But like now it's like every time I read a phrase, I swear I've read every piece of that phrase 100 times before.
yeah.
It's just like put together in a different way.
No, I agree, and that I think that's kind of what has been a or mindset shift of mine too, as well, as where, the drop shippers come and say, "Well, my product died," or whatever, right? And you can clearly see people are still scaling products from 2020 you're like, that should not work, but you're tweaking a hook or tweaking
It's
a
the ad.
caption, right? A hook, yeah, whatever it could be, and that's kind of where like even the message cards come into place. Like you don't need to necessarily recreate a whole new phrase or whatever. You can tweak a few things, maybe add a graphic, right? And then you just find a different angle. And I think that's what I'm really focusing on. 90% of my day is trying to, I'll do a little research, and then it's like, okay, I know this is a winning phrase. I know should be a winning product. What can I do content wise, ad wise, hook wise, whatever, to figure out how to make this sell? And I think that's kind of been a better indication of success of, my, especially Mother's Day, where you're not trying to recreate something. You're just finding a different pocket of an angle of an audience, right?
Through your ads.
Through your ads or your content. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this weird, like almost catch-22 here. Like a paradox, right? Because if you could be sitting on a winning product, but if you suck at marketing, you'll never know, because like the potential of the product will never be realized. But there's this other side of the coin, which is all the ads in the world won't make a shitty product scale to the moon like the way you did for Mother's Day. So there's this weird kind of catch-22 where you really do need to master both sides of the game. Like you're saying.
This is what I was saying about this, as you just stay in the game long enough, you will build your skill set. And all you're doing is making sure as your skill set builds that it doesn't take as long to scale a product, right? And that's exactly what you're talking about, where, I can have 100 misses or whatever, but I know eventually I can get one, but because I've developed that skill set. And it's that fine line of trying to figure out a winning phrase, or is it a bad design or something? Because you're right. I can take, so like if I took that Mother's Day winner and did an image ad, I guarantee it would flop. And you would have no idea you're sitting on a gold mine, because whatever, I don't think image ads are working as, they did. And I just find video better, but I've tested, where my videos will scale, but the image ad gets nothing.
So let's talk about, a minute ago, you helped us with some research on Etsy. So let's say we take that phrase that was on that mug and we want to make a product out of it, right? So do you test it with like love not forever love alluring beauty, or do you just throw everything on one jewelry type, or what do you do? Like what's your ad? Like, so you've got the phrase, work us through like creating the product, and let's start moving into testing. I want to make this really practical for people.
Yeah. So we'll just go back to the daughter example. And if, again, through your research, you'll see there's certain necklaces for daughter that are more inclined for people to purchase, like the interlocking hearts, right? Why would someone want to buy that? Because if your dad's buying it for you, it's almost like they're together, right? Your one heart is your daughter, one heart's your dad. And then I'll kind of start there, and then kind of see where we're hitting for those niches, right? But I've had experiences where I don't think necessarily the jewelry matters. And I think it's more about like I want to beat it through everyone's head. Like it's the content, right? That you should focus on. Like, I think people are really great in majoring in the minors, is what I always say, where, you know, especially when you're a newbie, you're excited to build your store. You're excited to add products. You're, you know, the colors, the schemes. And then what happens? You can't drive traffic. And I just wish people would just, you know, the money comes from the ad. The money comes from your content. And I'll give you a little story. Like before even ShineOn, when TikTok was coming out, I was doing like TikTok videos for products and not even having a Shopify store up. I was just trying to get the video to go viral to see, you know, okay, I can do this. And then I'd throw the video or throw a Shopify store up. Because if you look at even the people, like I'm in some e-commerce groups and you know, people are doing 100K days and everyone talks the same. It's the ad, you know, it's not the buttons, it's not the apps. And if you could just build that skill, you will make money with a bad message card. It doesn't matter what jewelry you have. It's just, if you can focus on that part of the aspect.
So you get the phrase, and let's say we put it on interlocking hearts, right? Do you just do like one variation of the product? So it's like one phrase, one design?
Pretty much, yeah. I don't really try to go crazy with testing hundreds of products. It just,
yeah, because you have a high degree of confidence it's already a winner, or is going to have momentum because of your research method.
Yeah, just you know, if you just learn drop shipping, you know that, like, okay, here's a winning product, and how many people actually will scale that winning product, right? It's very few. And then again, it comes down to your ad or your content or whatever. So I've made that transition. It's not so much about the design or the necklace. It's basically just trying to find the angle, the pocket of who's going to really feel that emotion to buy your product.
So you've made the product that's on interlocking hearts or whatever. So let's talk about the ads. So you're big on video. How many different like video ads do you run when you're testing?
So okay, we'll take that product, right? Sometimes, so like for a daughter, I'll make one video. And again, it could be really simple with like your mom or whatever, right? Let's like try to make it look organic in a way. And then
the video.
Yeah, the video. And then what I was doing before, I literally would take that one video and I would do like a low Facebook budget of like $5, right? And I would test sometimes 10 hooks, 15 hooks, 20 hooks. And you'd be surprised that
like $5 on each hook.
Yeah. Just to see, like
in a day, or like would you spread it out?
In a day, yeah. So I'd launch them for the next day. Say
so if you did 10, I just want to be clear. So if you did 10 hooks, you're spending $50.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And yeah, you would it's kind of shocking too, like the buyer psychology of figuring out a hook, right? Like that's what you're trying to tap in somewhere where if you just scroll TikTok and videos and viral videos, it really, I believe it's the first 3 seconds and the hook, and that'll set the product up. And basically I'll test that in a way like that, and then make pivots depending on what I see from the results.
And these are purchase conversion?
Yes.
And are you testing it on TikTok, or do you just go to TikTok after you scale?
Most of the time I'm testing my content organically with TikTok, just so I can get feedback without spending the money.
And then if it does good organically, then you move it to paid on Facebook
and TikTok. Yeah.
So so like if we could break it up into phases, like phase 1 is the organic stuff on your own TikTok channel. And I assume your TikTok channel is like under your brand name.
Yes.
Okay. And then if it gets, more views than usual, or whatever your KPIs there on that, then you move it to kind of a phase 2 testing, which is you start putting a little bit of money behind it on Facebook and TikTok to see if it'll scale with paid ads.
Yeah, that's how I'm.
Are you using the same hook that took off on TikTok, or is this where you're starting to experiment with hooks?
I experiment because you never know what's
So
like.
on TikTok, the organic stuff you're posting on TikTok is like one hook.
Yes.
And then after that, you go to paid, and then you that's where you go to 5 to 10 hooks.
Yeah, I'm kind of tweaking it to see, what can maybe get the reaction.
So a lot of people struggle with video because it's like, where do you get the content? Where do you get the hooks? So where are you finding these?
I mean, I've been doing this game for, especially ShineOn, even like if you just stick with the process, kind of what I've been talking about, you will eventually start to acquire what works and what doesn't, right?
But are you downloading other TikTok videos and splicing out their hooks? Are you using an AI tool like Kling or VO3 to generate hooks? Like where are you getting like the first 3-second clip of your ad? Where are you getting those?
Yeah, you can find some stuff on TikTok for sure. Even one of my biggest winner was, I didn't even have it wasn't a hook. It was literally just like opening the box. It was that kind of, I don't know if it was the.
And do you just film that yourself with like?
Yeah, it was like a 15-second video, and it just worked.
Is it your hands, or do you use your wife? Or
no, it's always my hands. It's brutal.
Awesome. So it's just a video. You open the box, and then I assume you use like one of the programs to like do the voice, right?
Sometimes
like
I do the
voice.
Yeah, sometimes I do the voice, but mostly it's the text you can put on the video of like whatever, this made my mom cry or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, like the headline or whatever.
Yeah, and you just it can be that simple, right? Yeah,
and it was 15 seconds.
15 seconds, yeah.
So I'm guessing that's what you put up organically on TikTok.
Yeah, to start, yes.
Then when you go to paid ads, that's when you start working on, you bring in all the hooks. And it sounds like you're saying you kind of farm the hooks from like other TikTok videos and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, this kind of like comes back to the research. Like, people are really predictable, and it's just a way of researching. So I'll give an example. I found a product on TikTok. It went viral. It's like helps you get out of the bathtub, right? Like it's like almost like a cane that helps you get out of the bathtub. And their hook was, imagine this when you're 30 years old and you have a cane to come out of the bathtub or something like that, right? And it went viral. And what I do also is like, if you go to so I went to the comments on that video, and the top comment that got all the likes, all the comments was, imagine having this if you're pregnant or when you were pregnant. There's your hook. That's the kind of the research.
Well, let's define hook real quick, because I just don't want to lose people. So before, when I was referring to hook, I was referring to the first 3 seconds of the video. Typically, it's like a clip. It's like someone being emotional, right? Like one that I've seen over and over again is some variation of a female, like in the daughter niche, opening a box and going. I've seen that like 1,000 times, right? And then it cuts to probably more the video of the box opening, right? Some variation of that. But it sounds like you're using the word hook
caption, I mean,
in different ways a little bit, because you're also saying, you're kind of talking about the caption, as well. So I just want to make sure we're clear for the viewers here. Yeah,
sorry. I mean, I guess hooks, both.
You're doing fine, man. This is when you're so deep in the game, you kind of know all this stuff, so it's fine. But I just want to make sure we don't confuse anybody.
Yeah, so I guess what I meant is I'm testing a lot of different captions for the video.
Organically or paid?
Both.
Paid. And so sometimes it's just you opening the box with a caption, right?
It's that
simple. You test a bunch of different captions.
Yes.
When do you actually start testing different like 3-second clips at the front of it?
Usually when those videos kind of work, where it's
got it. So this is our third phase of scale. So like phase 1 is open the box on TikTok, right? And it's organic content. Phase 2 is you test a bunch of different captions on that same video, paid with Facebook and TikTok. And then phase 3 is where you go out and do this additional step where you source different 3-second clips,
right,
for the first part of the video. And this is where, jewelry box gets handed to a daughter, hands go up, cuts to bloop, and like that first part, the daughter getting the box, the hands going up, that's a 3-second clip, and you test 10 different versions of that.
That's pretty much the process.
By the way, I get it's never quite this clean, but still. And those videos you're sourcing from like other TikTok videos or whatever.
TikTok videos myself, or I've hired a few UGC creators as well.
Like
so.
Billio or someone
and you can do like
found on Upwork or something.
and AI too. You can use I don't know if you've seen AI people, right, where you can just have them say something, or they can make a facial expression even.
Right.
I'm starting to test that as well, just kind of around there.
That's awesome. So look, I know we got a little deep there, and it was quite technical. So, but I'm really teasing it out because what we just did there in the last 5 or 10 minutes, this is really the stuff that helps the newbies, because like you have people in the trenches, and they've gotten past all these checkpoints, like they got their store and they're figuring out the research and all that, and like they're at this stage. And like what we just did helped a lot of people. I guarantee it. I guarantee you a bunch of people where light bulbs are going off. They're going, that's how we do that. So I appreciate you sharing all of that. So here's another question I have for you. So you have your website, like it's super clean, super professional. Is one of the better sites that I have seen in this space from ShineOn Merch. And like, it's very clear you're building up a great brand and like a great like business asset. And it's awesome. Like what, it feels like when it comes to like even your design, you've kind of tapped into like a secret weapon here with like how you bring all of that together. So how do you think about brand? How do you think about design? Because it's so clean. It fits together super well. Like how do you approach that?
Yeah, so I think less is more, to be honest. And I think if you can just find, again, it's through your research, most of the products that are selling, it could be even one background, right? That's a clean background. Like if you just go on Etsy and find some of the bigger jewelry stores, they're not really, there's some message card jewelry brands on Etsy that they're not ShineOn, they're just maybe from home or something. And they could just be a white background and black text. It can be that simple. Like it's not, I think simple is better. And then it's just figuring out again, what niche needs a little more design work or placement of, the text on the card or something like that.
It's awesome. So, look, if you could go back to like the early months when this product just started like kind of popping, and you could slap yourself for one mistake, what would it be?
Probably my systems in place. Can
you elaborate?
Yeah. So, I don't want to say I've been on the cheaper side of, like my systems, like, at scale of like 100K to 250K, I've kind of worked out a way 300K where I can kind of get by with some bare minimum stuff on the system end, just as the order flow and stuff. But when I was scaling up to that, it was a lot of chaos of, customers. And I mean, it was like probably 200 emails a day. Right. And my team wasn't big enough.
But by the way, it's not 200 emails a day because ShineOn's got a problem. It's anytime you scale like this, I mean, people, they want to know about their order. They want to change something or
address changes. Yeah, it was. And it kind of took me away from pushing that even further, right? What I could have.
So were you doing all your own support?
No. But
your scale, you shouldn't be.
I just wanted to make sure, like, all the customers are taken care of, right? And there was a lot of issues where like the order flow and like I said, I couldn't believe how many people needed to change an address. Like things like that, where you don't, as you scale up to the numbers like that, you don't want to lose your profit and everything. And that's kind of what I'm working on right now, is where if we can get to that scale again for Q4, it'll be taken care of, where my focus again is on the content, the ad side.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. What's like a piece of conventional wisdom like in this space that you just think is complete garbage?
Probably conversion rate optimization or something like that.
What do you mean?
Just how, everyone always kind of touts like their website can convert. I mean, I don't know, like 10% or, from the landing pages, but
Oh, just people like bragging and
yeah, just
basically lying to everybody.
it's kind of what I said, like majoring in the minor things where, again, the most people I see doing big numbers, they're just focusing on the ads. They're just focusing on the content, and kind of the nitty gritty stuff doesn't really matter to me, honestly. And I'm trying to get away from that where, everyone wants the golden ticket button color or something like that, and I've spent so many times and hours just messing with things that don't really matter, like you're, I really don't think my store is that great. It's just that I just focus on areas that drive the traffic, and
Your store is probably in the top 5% of all the stores I've seen come through Shine. Probably even a little bit higher than that. Like it was good. When I saw it, I mean, I've seen a lot of stores, dude. And when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is really nice.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
All right, give me top 3 tips for newbies.
Like I said, content. Just learn content and you will be fine. You just put in the work, 1 to 2 years of learning how to make content and sell a product. And you don't even need a store nowadays. You can do like TikTok Shop, right? Like they're paying creators just to make content. And I would just focus that. That's what I tell everyone that asks me. I said, don't build a store. I know that might seem crazy to most, and it does. But what I've just seen works for me, for my e-com groups that I'm in and stuff, that everyone's just focusing on content and ads and getting better at that. And you don't have to be have a high production ad. You could be really good at just opening a box and reviewing it. Like it can be that simple, but there's little hooks and tricks and whatever to, catch the viewer's eye. And I would just say, focus on that, do nothing else. Little product research, yeah, get better at that, but it's the content, the ad is what will help you.
And mastering like how to get attention.
Yeah, and if you can get better at that, you will be set. And I strongly believe anyone can do it. And I think my videos are horrible, but there's certain tweaks that I can do to make someone buy something, and then that's a skill I've developed. And I just tell people, don't mess with anything else. Just focus on the content, focus on building an ad, and you will be fine. You will be set. And that's really it, to be honest.
What AI tools are like in your workflow, and how do you use them?
So I use ChatGPT for, tweaking message cards, getting ideas, I even say, write a heartfelt message card to your daughter that will be about 30 seconds long. And then I use 11 Labs, which is for like AI voiceover, and basically CapCut. And that's really it. Like I try not to do too much, just.
So you're really using ChatGPT to jam out like original phrases.
Yeah, I can't, I always joke, doing this in 2020 and 21, it was so, taxing on your brain. And now you just type it into ChatGPT and they can just come up with everything for you.
Have you had a ChatGPT phrase work for you?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Or or going back to the captions right on the video, like, okay, I'm selling a product to a daughter from a dad, a jewelry product, come up with 10 different captions that might strike an emotion.
Oh, right. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, just things like that. And that's basically.
So you use CapCut to edit all the video.
Yeah, and all my videos I take are on my phone. I mean, it's nothing crazy. I've never really, even the UGC people I hire, I always perform better. I don't know, because it's maybe more natural or something. And plus, like I said, when you stay in the business for long enough, you'll eventually understand what the customer is looking for, right? So it just kind of goes on there.
How many stores are you running?
Just right now, one. I told you, like I just.
What I like to hear.
Yeah, last year I just slimmed down. I said no more dropshipping stores. I want to build something that I'm not going to the moon and it goes to zero, right? It's like I kind of got sick and tired of, if you looked at my old Facebook account, I had probably 15, 20 pages of just different brands, right? That you create, and focusing on one store has made a difference. I think even one of the interviews I saw with Matt Baugh, he just said, I'm just going to make Shine On work, right? And I'm going to put all my focus into Shine On for 1 year. And I kind of took that as in, look what he's done. It's crazy. His numbers are crazy. But when you just put your focus on one store and just focus on that for a year and see where you're at, right?
That's awesome, dude. This has been great. What are your plans the rest of the year?
I'm trying to just make sure Q4 runs smoothly that's even a scale like what I had for Mother's Day, and if I can get even more than that. And that's kind of what I'm working on now. And as I said earlier, right now is the downtime, right? Where June and July are kind of harder to sell these kind of products because there's not really a holiday rush right now. But this is when you find your winners. This is when you test, and that's kind of where I'm working at right now, is where I'm looking for my winners for the niches, because once August hits, you can kind of see that's when I say Q4 starts is August.
Everything kind of starts warming up. Yeah.
Yeah, because the international customers are starting to get their orders in.
So I want to say something. One of our top merchants, he's been with us years. He crushes it every week during the summer months. Just crushes it. If I shared his numbers with you, you wouldn't believe me, because he does like almost holiday, like pre, like April starts warming up for Mother's Day. May, like the beginning of April, he does like those kinds of sales basically all year long. And it's mind-blowing to me. And the reason I say that is for you and all the other merchants out there that have hit some winners. Do not give up right now, because I see, and he does it consistently. This is the third year where he's just freaking ripping it. He's just freaking ripping it. I don't know what he's doing. It's just shocking. So anyway, I'm just putting it out there. A lot of people sleep in the summer months, and the sales are there. You just got to find them. Anyway, I want to repeat for all the new people out here. Nate has been doing this for almost 10 years. He's basically an expert at this point. He has put in the reps. He knows what works, what doesn't work. He's mastered ads and like getting attention. And his results are not typical, right? Like if you pick this up tomorrow, you cannot expect to be a Nate Sliwinski by Q4. Like some people get lucky, some people do hit it, but you shouldn't expect that, right? And I just want everybody to be level-headed and kind of sober as they walk into this and realize that like it's a skill. Like anything else, you have to put in time and effort. Nate said that earlier. I think he said it really well. He said, I don't give up and I work really, really hard. Right? If you put those things together and you approach anything in life, you're probably going to have some degree of success, right? But that is really what it takes. And everybody should be totally aware of that as we move into this. Nate, do you have anything else you want to share with viewers?
Yeah, I just want to go back to that. I truly, like I said earlier, I truly believe anyone can do this game, right? It doesn't matter what age, what skill set you have. I was talking to my buddy about this, where, you might be able to play guitar, but are you a musician, right? That can write music, whatever, make it big. And that's such a small percentage. You might just not have that talent, right? But the e-commerce game, I truly believe anyone can do it. Anyone can succeed. And in such a short period of time too, if you put in the work, if you don't quit. And it really can be 1 to 2 years. And that might seem like a long time, but you are saving a decade, 2 decades to change your life. Oh, and this is kind of, again, coming back to the ads. I always say 1 product, 1 ad. That's it. That can change your life. It changed my life in 2018, my first Facebook scale. And I didn't even know what I was doing. I didn't expect to scale this.
Same here, dude. Yeah. And
it really, that changed my life forever. I mean, like I said, we didn't even have sometimes $10 to put in the truck. Like that was where we were at. And we just stuck to the process. We put in the work, and it can really come down to one ad, one product, and then you just keep building the momentum. And I wish people could understand that opportunity they have at hand, where you can do 1 to 2 years of hard work to change your life forever, to change your family's life forever. And I wish people would take that and really maybe write it on the wall or something, one product, one ad, because that's, even at what I'm doing now, that's the focus comes back to that. And that can really just change your life, change your, everything about what you can do in this world. So I just would leave it at that.
Dude, thanks so much for coming on. That's awesome.
I appreciate it. And you guys have great products, and I'm like I said, I'm so happy I found ShineOn, because it's made my life pretty nice and easy.
Heck yeah. Let's crush Q4 together.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody. Hope you got a lot out of this. Go back and rewatch this. There were a lot of bombs dropped in this one. And the Etsy research stuff was gold. It was pure gold. This is crap you would have had to have paid for in a $1,000 course, not too long ago. And it's for free now, right? Like, you just don't understand how, for us guys that have been in the game for a while, you just don't understand how incredible that is, because it was a hard road to piece together all this knowledge over the last 10 years or so. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, for tuning in. Nate, you're awesome.
Thank you.
Keep selling, everybody. Catch you in the next one. Bye.